Oh, they're throwing that on me. Oh, okay. Kind of a variety of things, from new technologies to just a few like things on aliens and stuff. We're gonna go a little less serious this time, just because we have so many times where we kind of veer off into the topic of the actual day. And since it's Christmas, we feel like we're just gonna take a break from the news of the day.
Yeah, news of the day isn't great. So what we're going to talk about today is UFO related stuff. Now, we only have so much time, and it turns out this is a galactic subject in size. All puns are intended. So we want to break that glass ceiling and do Weed and Coffee UFO special. Insert effect. Okay, so I guess we should start with Bob Lazar. I'm going to start with this guy. He has some documentation and some told tales of things in the 80s, 87 I believe, of things that have come to be. Like, he spoke about a new element that was discovered in 2003, and I want you guys to Google this. I'm not even going to say the name, but it's element number 115. And then you should also Google what and how it's used, like how it works with electricity, how it works with microwave, and read some of the theories and see some of the videos, like on YouTube. It's amazing. They can actually produce a field that's so strong they can bend light with it. It gives you the ability to make an anti-gravitational field, and it's been around for quite a while, but we don't really hear it, used much in science. So you got to wonder, how can such an amazing element not be used or applied, right? We discovered it through nuclear collision, and that's also when we found the God particle and some other things. But it's an amazing jump having a new element on the table. And if you know anything about the table of elements, you know the importance of the number. So it's quite a big deal. So you should educate yourself on our newest element. Now, how does that play into UFOs? Well, this is when it gets really interesting. I'm going to give you kids a patent. So I wrote this patent number a couple times. It's US 101-445-32B2. I'm going to say it again. US 101-445-32B2. Now, that patent is for the U.S. Navy, and all rights are reserved. It's an international patent, and you need to look up what that patent is for, because it's going to be amazing. That's what we're going to talk about next, actually, is spacecraft. So there's been a lot of reports of various spacecraft crossing, the nation in the year 220. A lot of them are very similar, triangular in shape. Some lights on the bottom. They have the ability to hover, and they have the ability to just move extremely fast without any sort of propulsion trail or anything. Now, that technology has existed from this Bob Lazar guy.
What does it mean by inherent mass reduction?
It means that it reduces the mass. That's a part of the anti-gravitational effect.
But for just a regular boat? Is that what they're proposing attaching it to, like a naval ship? Well, because it's the Department of the Navy, right, or whatever?
Yeah.
U.S. Secretary of Navy. Okay, yep. Filed by the. I googled it. I'm just having a hard time trying to So is it something they're going to slap on a freaking boat, or is it for? Cause,
If you read the entire patent,
which I'm not.
all right, it goes into how to use that element to produce an engine that will propel a craft that is specified to what we've been seeing in the air. And it appears that the U.S. Navy has been employing this technology for a couple of years. So much of what we're likely seeing is our own U.S. Navy pilots flying technology that was deconstructed and re-engineered, reverse engineered by Bob Lazar. So the connections that I'm talking about go from Bob Lazar to element 115 to the patent number, which I could repeat again, is US 101445332B2. All these things are connected. Now, is this my conspiracy? Oh, no. We're just a couple of stoners that read a lot when we're bored. We don't watch TV. I don't even have cable. We just use the interweb and go from there, you know. It's Christmas Day, so you might see me doing a little mixed drinking here. This is weed and coffee, but I'm drinking eggnog and Jesus juice. So.
Eggnog.
Playboy doesn't like eggnog.
Nope.
So, yeah, these conspiracies are by many people. So this is a big one that had some things that were provable in it, which is why I'm bringing them up.
Look at that. National Geographic did a whole thing back in August 2013 talking about meat 115, the newest element on the periodic table.
Yeah. So all of the stuff I'm telling you is easy to verify. That you can even grab it on Google. You don't even have to
use. This is all
use
coming up just on Google.
You don't have to use DuckDuckGo like I do, or any other search engine. Yazzer, the Russian search engine, is really good. So, you know, you don't even have to use an engine that's not going to edit your results. This is still open knowledge. Nobody's objecting to this. So this is something, you know, we can kind of talk about. I feel pretty openly without worrying about getting labeled. Now, personally, I have a hard time with this UFO thing. I didn't really believe in aliens until recently, when Steve, which is a dork, we were talking about a lot of things, and I had my mind blown by something, and Steve has got another friend that has been talking to him about it, and I guess
For years.
Yeah, and
if I'm a dork, no offense to my buddy, I love you to death, but you are on another plateau of super smart guy, because for years I've had to have my buddy dumb down to me whatever it is we're talking about.
Quantum processing.
Yeah, he's a guy who finds all that fun. He finds deep conversations about string theory entertaining, where I'm lost by the third sentence. So I try my best, but yeah.
So I was flabbergasted by the news of this processing being able to actually not only move matter like oranges, but now they're moving people digitally. So this being open and whatnot, I decided to start looking into some things. And I'll be honest, I found myself over on the dark side there for a minute, browsing for contents on aliens. And in there, I had some leaked footage that I found. I don't know, I can't verify it, but I can tell you what I saw was a being in a cell that looked pretty agitated and almost nervous, and it had a very similar head to what we commonly have been told, but the body of it was much more like District 9 type body, you know, kind of bug-like body. So no idea on if that was real or not, but it was enough to get me to look further into things. So then I went back and I started finding this. I found several different routes of conspiracy theories, but this one here has got some real elements and patents and a guy that's very well educated and been talking about this. So I found it the most interesting. But as far as what they look like, Judas Priest. That's more Playboy's thing. He looked at that better than I did.
You just have a lot of renditions being very humanoid in form, some way, shape, or form. So I think a lot of the influences of what we think aliens will look like are very still spurred on from a, they must somehow, some way, shape, or form resemble us.
Yeah, I don't know if that would be true. I mean, from somebody that never really believed in aliens, still kind of, I don't know, I wouldn't say up in the air with these patents and element thing and all that.
It's not Star Trek where they're all humanoid. There's no way.
Yeah.
Unless, like in Star, the only way that happened in Star Trek was there's an original species that left their DNA on all these planets, so we all spurned from one species. And the beings that I don't think that's the case, anything that's alien would be just that, completely alien. It would be under the different pressures and ecological systems of that home world.
And between the CIA opening up files, the FBI opening up files, you can type in any subject you want and research it. They're admitting to it. And then on top of that, you have the WikiLeaks recent dump. Not the first one, the recent dump in the last couple of weeks. And man, there is a lot out there. So at this point, I used to think alien life would just be a bacteria that potentially got brought back to the Earth, and that would wipe us out. That's what I always thought it would be, you know. That's what I thought alien life we would find. Now, I am just, I would say, not convinced, but confused in regards to the subject. There's a lot of information out there. Which brings me to this one specific place. The Antarctic. What I believe makes the Antarctic so mysterious is the fact that it can get down to like 130 degrees Celsius, which that's not Rona, by the way. That's a weed cough. So it's unforgiving, and people, I don't know if you know this, but we're not allowed to go there, which is weird. So of course it sets the perfect stage for conspiracies. And this other thing that has been found are pyramids in the Antarctic. 4-sided, perfectly symmetrical pyramids. Now, people are saying lost cities. You can find other people showing footage of dig sites. But there is a lot going on in that particular area. What do I think about it? Well, I have no idea. But I do think it's kind of curious, and it's worth looking into. I mean, you think about people who are already wanting to go into space, they're already talking about sending people to Mars. I saw one thing where they want to send almost 11,000 people to Mars. This is mainstream news.
Yeah, I know.
So
they can do it. It's quite the achievement.
Yeah, they want to do this the next 10 years. Now, how could you plan on making such a big jump without technology, right? Which ties me back into our earlier discussion about the new Navy aircraft and the new element. And it hasn't really been talked about, but yet we have this technology that appears to make all of this really possible. To me. Now, is that something that we came up with? No. Does it make sense that it's reverse engineered from somebody else's tech? Yeah, it kind of does to me. I mean, if you read about the spacecraft, not only does it have this propulsion system, but it has a new metal. There are numerous patents underneath that patent. It's fascinating. Things, elements, and metals that we've never had or used are now being employed. So, those are facts. I mean, they're on the Discovery Channel, they're on all sorts of mainstream news. It's really curious to go and investigate this stuff yourself. If we do have aliens, I hope they look like Zoidberg.
Crustacean.
Mm-hmm. It's probably the coolest alien I've seen.
But even then, he's rendered as mostly like in a human form.
Yeah,
He only scuttles when he's scared.
true. I don't know. Does anybody have any ideas on what aliens could potentially look like?
I think no matter what you come up with, you're probably wrong.
I'm just more curious about the.
It'll not be nearly as exciting as your brain makes it, but it won't be as nearly disappointing as the truth is.
Yeah, I that's what I want to see is people's creativity. You know, like what kind of. I mean, through what you present is probably going to show how you feel, right? So, I'd be curious if anybody had a description. They have a lot of theories going around. A lot of these, I don't want to say dorks, but let's say dorks. Believe that the aliens haven't made contact with us yet because they're waiting for us to mature. I don't know. I mean, there is a lot of stuff about aliens out there that, of course, makes this subject look ridiculous. Which is why it's kind of funny to talk about, and a great distraction from, current America. So, you got to wonder what kind of society would want to be created on Mars. I mean, would it be what, would it be socialist? I wonder. I mean, what would that be like? I have no interest in leaving Earth. I mean, think about, like, people flying through space, right? But yet we can't even get to the mantle that's alleged to be in the Earth. Like, have you read about that? Geologists actually can't get in to prove any theories. I mean, there's theories out there that say that there's a sun inside the Earth.
Hollow Earth.
Yeah. And geologists can't really disprove it because they can't find, the bottom of the crust to find the mantle we're supposed to be floating on. So it's curious, right? We do have geothermal energy, which means once you get under the ground, like 50 inches, it stays 50 degrees all year round. That's a pretty strange phenomenon, right? That's why you plant a fence post if you guys aren't. If you're from the city, you plant a post or any kind of foundation, you got to go in that deep to beat the frost line, so that your foundation doesn't get upheaved by the earth. If you guys don't live in an area that you get hard frost. So, magma, yeah, that could do that. A sun inside the planet, yeah, I suppose that could do that. But this is my conundrum for today's youth in regards to this whole discussion. I don't believe that you can say there is both flat Earth and hollow Earth. Simply wouldn't work. Mm-mm. So, you got to pick your battles. There's some people out there that are all over the place on this stuff, and I don't know, with all of it, you got to kind of choose, pick your battle. Talking about UFOs, we were sounding kooky as hell, but then again, we're just a couple stone guys sitting in front of a fire, trying to chill out, trying to get everybody else to smile and relax some too. Because, aliens.
My thing is, like, you were saying, like, how the aliens don't want to talk to us because we're not advanced enough yet. I find that to be a horrible argument for why aliens wouldn't want to mess with us. If I could use us as an example, because I can only use the human species as an example.
Right.
Nuh-uh. If it was us going floating around in space, we've mastered that. We go by a planet that's got some chimp-like motherfuckers that can do some shit. We're stopping, we're turning, and we're going to go test on them. Think about every scientist that's out there right now.
Or every race that we're taking advantage of. Yeah,
and then studied and been like, well, watch
capitalized on.
And then we're going to do tests on them. We're going to see how they, let's give them these things and see how their bodies react to it, just to know things. So I would have to imagine, like, in all honesty, even if they're hyper intelligent and advanced, you have no concept of their moralities. They could be a species with no morality. They could be a species without God. They could be a species with God. You don't know.
All right,
And
now,
to assume that they're not going to be curious as we're curious is just plain dumb.
okay, like I said, I've been doing a lot of reading since we spoke last few weeks ago. Uh, now, there is a theory on what you're talking about, Playboy. There's this theory that Atlantis was inhabited by evil aliens. They wanted to enslave us and make us into a working class for them. And then there was an island of good aliens. And then there was a nuclear war that was so big, there was 15 G or whatever waves on the Richter scale. They said it was like unbelievable earthquakes, and that's what, separated things up. That's what caused it. This happened 10,000 years ago, they're claiming. And then the winning side, which are what they call people of the light. I'm not going to say the names of these two. I remember the name of the one group, but I'm not going to say the names of them. You guys should investigate. I don't want you to believe me, because this is pretty unreal. The one moved subterranean in the Antarctic, and the other one got annihilated, and that was Atlantis. So there's a morality thing, but then again, it's good and evil compared to our reflection of good and evil. And what Playboy's point was, they might not have the same version of good and evil. If you guys read comic books, a great example of this is Logo. All right, he is one of the most lawful people you could ever meet, but he has 100% different definition
Of what that is.
of what that is than you do. So we don't know any of this stuff. I've heard other people say, well, we're trading off people for technology. I don't think so. I think they've either crashed or we downed them. I do think people may have been picked up. I don't know what's up with all this probing. I mean, that seems weird. But I guess if you were wanting to take a look inside, it's a good route.
I've even read theories that say we're not so much creatures of this realm or dimension, whatever have you, that we're actually an interdimensional species that crash landed here, and our bodies are copulated or adjusted to the realities and laws of this world, which is why our brains are separated into two hemispheres. We were once one lump brain before we landed here and whatever. So I mean, there's a lot of theories out there that why we're here and how we got here. So
yeah, and see, I'm a Christian, so I believe differently than most. Have had my DNA done. So we'll talk about DNA and stuff in another section, I think. But it's amazing when you get your medical DNA along with your history. And in some cases, they'll even show these Pablo lines that go through show where you're from. Like where your ancestors ascended, the route they took to where they came from. Kind of connects your family tree by location. So there's a lot to look at. If it did happen, it had to happen a long time ago. Well before, I believe, Judaism. It had to come before that. Some people say it was with the Egyptians. That might have been when it was over. I don't know. Like I said, this is all speculative. We're not, more than a couple of stoners talking about
goofy theories.
Goofy theories. So yeah, Hollow Earth, pyramids in the Antarctic, that's all over the place. This technology we're talking about, that's real and all over the place. What aliens look like seems still to be a big debate.
Having that we've never found one, yeah.
Well, they say they have them, but when you try and find images, you can't find them unless you go to the dark side. Yeah, you can't find them on the regular internet. Even Yazzer, Russian one, won't guide you to it. So with these elements and this new metal, I don't understand why it wouldn't show that if it was here, right? So if somebody has a link, put it down below. 'Cause, like I said, we're curiously distracted by this for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
You guys have probably said, hey, what are they talking about? You know, the bigger important issues.
Don't know them all.
And we don't really have all the details, so frankly, we're just trying to...
This is sounded like a fun thing to talk about with smoking.
Yeah. We don't really give a fuck right now. That's why.
Just trying to make the most we can out of a Christmas that's been the most beat down Christmas I can ever remember.
Yeah. It's been a hard year, people. It's not...
You know, there was already a kind of decline on Christmas lights in the neighborhood, but this year there's barely any up. You're just not allowed to see family. Everybody's super depressed and sad. Like, it's just... So we're just trying to make the most of it.
Yeah. We're supposed to be in quarantine. There's a bunch of rules.
Which we're not breaking. There's only, what, 5 of us in the house.
Right. So...
Take that, Governor.
Yeah. Obviously, this is legal here. So that's not an issue. Man, I do hope people are taking care of themselves physically, because that'll lead to better mental health. And spiritually, if you're not doing something for yourself, at least meditate or pray, please. That's important. You know, we look at technology, like we've been talking about, and it's like just been incredible. And that's another argument these UFO people bring up, is these technology booms happened after certain events. One of the big ones was, you know, when we captured Nazi Germany, Nazi Germany was important.
Yeah, because regular Germans would be like, whoa.
Yeah. So
there's a distinction.
So yeah, in the World War II era, we got a bunch of... Look, they were using Tesla and a lot of alien tech in Germany for communications and a few other things. So
it's hard to... Now,
when we captured it...
Look at the names of the Manhattan Project and tell me that that's not strangely very German.
Oh yeah, we did snag Einstein.
That's what I mean. Like, you look at the list of all the top scientists who fled Germany.
We did abduct the guy that built the bomb.
We took a bunch of those guys.
So, back to what I was saying. Technology has just gone over and over, and it's contributed to World War II, or capturing Germany, and then all this tech came out, and then other events, and more tech came out. You can look up like tech versus alien or something, search along that line, and you'll see this theory on how, you know, it's all been given to us. Maybe, I don't know. Seems pretty unlikely, just because we have achieved so much, just as human beings on an individual level. There's a lot of amazing people out there. So, I think we're capable of a lot. But anyways, some people have some pretty crazy theories. All these theories seem to evolve like the aliens are friendly and they're going to save us or some shit. I don't see that. But.
No, I can't foresee any space-faring species to be... Maybe they have peaceful traits, but I don't necessarily wouldn't call any of them peaceful by trade. You know, they might understand, but at that certain point, that there's no point in destroying because it took so much resources to get the ship out there to get it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or mutual destruction is just not the best way to go. But I'd have to think that no, if you're leaving, there's something that's making you leave, and I don't suspect it's Star Trek style, like, you know, eloquence of like we just want to meet everybody. It's probably like, well, no, we're gonna come take your shit. And
even Star Trek's imperialistic because they want everybody to join the Federation.
And they have imperialistic empires in the show.
Yeah, so it's definitely still imperialism even in space.
And
that's the way it's always been from our perspective. But like Playboy pointed out, they might not have the same set of morals or ideals. We don't know. So to resume anything, like I said, I thought aliens was bacteria until recently because of all this undertow, this like weird little current off the side of everything. People on their social media showing spacecraft and news showing it. Just the information is freaking everywhere. But nobody's covering it. You know, weird.
Well, because if you're going to give me fake news, make it at least like this stuff where it's fun to talk about and talk about the what ifs.
Yeah, and you can at least, like, everybody can talk about this, and I don't think we're going to get hammered by a lot of people because, you know, we're not using the right pronouns for an alien.
Well, except for Tom DeLong. He might be all like, you guys are well, fuck you, Tom DeLong.
Yeah, we don't know. We're not going to make any assumptions on their chosen.
Well, I didn't make a bunch of really funny, awesome songs about my dick growing up where I have the funds to go look for aliens for the rest of my life. So, fuck you, Tom DeLong, with your fucking awesome songs. And band that was really great when I was younger.
So, yeah, there's a lot of thought about it.
Better than thinking about our current government, I suppose, at this point.
Oh, and the other alien we wanted to talk about that we thought would be it would be an actual alien species of some sort was the symbiote, like from Spider-Man Venom. It would be something like that.
Like aliens.
Yeah. Not after they pop out your chest and they turn all human-like with the body frame. When they're little like rah things, they just hump your face for like 3 days.
Yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say, but I mean, the other thing, I mean, we just covered another episode, is cloning. I mean, past
Dolly.
where most people think we are with that. But I've been keeping an eye on that because that annoys me as a Christian. I have a moral issue with it. This, on the other hand, doesn't threaten my faith to me. So I don't get all charged up about it. I find it really curious because if there are aliens, I want to know how well jiu-jitsu works on them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, that's like our big discussion was. Like,
could you choke out an alien?
Yeah.
And it depends on what kind of alien we're talking about.
And how do they react to a key lock or a wrist lock or the arm bar or a knee bar? The one thing in the dark web video, their legs, their knees were going the other direction. So they were like, you know, goat legs or deer legs or whatnot. But their arms were pretty much like ours. So I don't know, they look kind of bug-like. But yeah, I wouldn't mind rolling with one of them. I mean, assuming they were willing.
Had some sort of structured combat that they could have mutual rules with.
Or if not, just let me know that ahead of time.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, I'm really, really curious about a lot of aspects of this. Obviously, physical matchup is something that I'd be really curious about. I had no idea for those big shiny eyes. I mean, if we're striking. But yeah, who knows, right? But there's no reason we can't be friends and roll, that's my point. If there are aliens, come on over. We're not going to mention where we're at, but you know where we're at. If you're an alien, you should be able to track us down really easy.
Mm-hmm.
We're there 3 days a week, a few hours. You can't miss us, so you should show up. Wear a mask to get in. You gotta do some scans on you real quick just to make sure that you're not sick with the Rona. And then if you want to roll, we'll roll. Friendly, like, you know, exhibition style. That seems pretty polite, right? I mean, just out of curiosity. Or if you know you're going to kick my ass, you could just note that instead of, you know, killing me. But I might, you know, want to see it because I don't know, it's what I am. But yeah, I'd be really excited about that. I mean, the most cool thing is to see you in the jiu-jitsu gym, because then I know we can get along. You know what I mean? Because in the same, it doesn't. In there, we're all the same. Age, color, race, religion. It doesn't matter. So if you're going to join us on something where it don't matter. Don't sneak up in the backyard. You obviously have the technology, so if you come, announce yourself. Americans aren't really the ones to sneak up on, especially in today's day and age.
that'd be good. So, yeah, call first. Phone home, so to say. We'll go ahead and take it from there, if you are out there. And if you're just the Navy and Chinese and Russia, and whoever else flying around, and technology we got from, you know, the 1980s. Well, quit fucking with people, because it's not funny. If it is alien tech, admit it. And this, you know, quantum processing matter from one point to another. What the fuck?
Yeah, at this point you feel like they could come out and be like, all right, everybody, so it turns out Roswell was real, okay, big deal, whoop, whoop, whatever. That's how you got CD players and DVDs.
Yeah.
I'd be like, well, that's good to know. Now that I know everything else is being reverse engineered, good to know.
Yeah, I'm curious about that whole technology versus these events starting really with World War II. But as far as like world domination, that's been in place since the World Bank got started in 1913.
And to tell me if you're an alien species and you're exploring the universe and you see a freaking nuclear explosion go off and you know, like, those aren't normal, they don't happen naturally, it's going to draw your attention to it.
Yeah, I suppose so, when we're letting off flares, nuclear blast.
Yeah. I mean, that's got to have an energy signal of some sort or some sort of thing that they would be like, what the fuck was that?
Yeah. Yeah. And we did put a probe out there that even
A few of them.
Stephen Hawking said it was a bad idea because we were going to bring back bad hombres or something from space that we're not ready to contend with.
Yeah.
And I thought Space Force was ridiculous. That's just something I gotta say. I thought it was absurd.
No, the Steve Carell movie?
No, the general idea of us having a Space
Oh,
Force.
I thought you were talking about the Steve Carell.
Well, the Steve Carell series is pretty funny too, but I don't like Steve Carell because, you know, he's a pedo. We don't know that for sure. I'm just telling you, you know, what's all over the Hunter Biden laptop. But, you know, believe what you want. But I don't watch him anymore. But anyways, yeah, I didn't think Space Force was real. I thought it was ridiculous. I thought they were just siphoning money out. And now that I see Element 115, anti-gravitational, and the ability to bend light, it's like common knowledge. And then a patent for a spaceship that's been flying around for 3 years. Yeah. It changes things. I don't know about you guys, but that's pretty strange stuff. I'm pretty good at math.
We're not terribly sure why all you hillbillies are the ones that get, you know, plumb snookered. I assume it has something to do with the moonshine. It makes you more vulnerable.
Yeah, I don't know. It does seem that most of the people that get abducted were drinking. A lot of them are fishing. Like the east end of Lake Erie seems to be a hot spot. We're in Michigan, so the Great Lakes. You know, something I sail on them. And man, there always seems to be one or two guys fishing. They're, you know, 2 sheets to the wind. You get picked up. So I don't know what's going on with that stuff. The abduction stuff, honestly, it's more stressful to talk about. So I just got to duck back and kind of talk about what they look like because I find that amusing.
And any species that abducts you, probes you, and does science on you and then releases you back into the wild is not your friend because that's what we do.
Yeah, true that.
That's what we do. We're not necessarily your friend. We're tagging you because you're an endangered species, or hey, you know, we need to know where all these turtles or fucking alligators are going. So that's not necessarily. Yeah, good thing.
Yeah.
So all you hillbillies who've been abducted, look for the tag.
Yeah.
If you got a brand new earring, you might be worried.
Yeah, check for ticks. Oh, so yeah, that's really all we had today. It was a little discussion about alien technology, which, like I said, Element 115 and patent number US 101445332B2 and this guy Bob Lazar are all tied together. Really interesting stuff. A lot of new tech underneath that patent. If you look into it, new element, which we mentioned. It's also new metal, which has not made the elemental table yet, but yeah, we have a new metal. and it's pretty interesting to read. And the entire spaceship itself, that's the patent I gave you, but there's a lot of patents underneath it that tell you how it was done. So, super interesting story. What's going on in Antarctica with these pyramids? I don't know. I mean, we found stuff that's 3-4 years old on it, all the way up to 8 months ago.
My thing is, my theory still is Antarctica wasn't always Antarctica.
Yeah.
At one point in time, it was part of Pangea, and
Yeah.
everything broke up, so whatever was going to be Antarctica.
Well, that was because of the good aliens and the bad aliens had a huge nuclear.
I'm just saying, it could have been obviously somewhere else where it made sense versus being in the middle under, you know, like so much snow and sleet and ice and 100 feet of
Well,
water.
yeah, originally, I don't know, they have like, you gotta see some of this stuff on Google. Use something other than a Google search engine. I'm sorry to even say the word, because that's not what you want. Use another search engine and look this up, and you will see results where people are using Google Earth and other things that they've gotten hold of, and before the area's been blocked out, and you can see a lot of different things going on. I guess Hitachi's involved, that was pretty obvious. But dig sites and other things. So take a peek at it, see what you think. Of course, like I said, it's a perfect place for conspiracies because it's so hard to get to and survive. You know, like those kind of temperatures, whew, it's not like you're going there for backpacking or something, you know. So yeah, that's interesting. You can find out that it's a geological fact that they have no idea what's underneath us. That's pretty interesting. And I think those are the facts. The rest of it is just theories. So stay healthy. Occasionally being distracted isn't a bad thing. Everybody, happy holidays. You know, I don't know how you celebrate it, so we're just going to say it like that.
What was it, Smokey Robinson? I don't know if you, I mean, this is complete non-sequitur. Did you see, you know what Cameo is?
Yeah.
He did a cameo where someone was wishing their friend a happy Hanukkah. But he wasn't familiar with the spelling of CH versus the H spelling.
Yeah.
So he's like, have a happy Chinooka, whatever that is. So you have yourselves a happy Chinooka too.
Yeah, I don't know what your holiday is, but many blessings. And I hope that your family stays well. I would say stock up on food. That'd be my advice. For sure. Staying fed, the key to staying healthy. And you gotta keep that exercise up. You gotta do something spiritually. Keep your mind sharp. And I say do jujitsu a lot. You can find a place to practice. So enjoy, keep your head up. Embrace the suck. Because anybody that thought COVID was over with the election, no. Do some reading. Charles Schwab, there's a father named Klaus Schwab, which is head of the World Economic Forum. He's a book out called COVID-19, The Great Reset. I encourage you to read it. This will be going on for 4 to 6 years. So, strap in. I guess maybe hope for the alien government to get here quick, right? I don't know. Obviously, I'm just screwing around. But, anyways, take care.
Happy holidays, everybody.
Say goodbye, Playboy.
Bye, bye.